And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. I'm Gary Kaltbaum, your host. Hey, thanks for being with us today. Glad you're here, ladies and gentlemen. Happy that you are listening. It was another crazy day in the market, February 3rd, Tuesday, 2026. Hope you're having a good day. As always, serious talk on everything that affects you. We'll do the markets, the economy, your job, your industry, the Morlocks out of Washington, D.C., the latest, housing they're going to be talking about. And our government wants to, I wouldn't call it a takeover of housing, but wants to get neck deep into housing when it was government that has caused the whole housing distortions. We'll do a little bit of that. And of course, if you do not get this radio show in your city, we'll post it at GaryK.com. We'll also post it on our X feed. And if you don't follow us on X, you should. If you'd like to email us, just be nice. By the way, it'll also be on the BizTV YouTube channel. We're going to go, how do I put this? Tit for tat. I am going to go through sectors and sectors and sectors in the market, what they're doing, how they're looking, bullish, bearish, and all that. And as always, we are not telling you what to do. It is your money. You get to decide. Simple as that. Fair enough? Cool. Where do I even want to start? I'm going to go with oils. Weeks ago, we had said to you, we're going to take oils off the avoid list. And what that means was we thought their downtrend was over. And we'll see what comes of it. Well, all we can tell you, a lot of it's turned bullish. You have Exxon, broke out of a one-year base. It's moving. Chevron broke out of a one-year base. It's moving. Schlumberger, Halliburton. If you look at the ETFs, the XLE is the big oil. That broke out of range. Now, mind you, the XLE is still trading where it was like at 09, but we deal in the here and now, and it's on the move. The OIH is the oil services at a new yearly high. Keep in mind, oil services topped out the OIH at 1,525 at 08. It's 340 today. No, we're not making that up. Seriously, we're not making that up. But it is oils. Now, there's a good news, bad news on that. You're going to be paying more at the pump. Oil prices, they gapped down yesterday, right back up today. It looks like, best way I can describe it, uptrend. How long, don't know. How far, I don't know. Oil prices have not broken above the year high, but they're getting close. The USO 84.58 is the high of 83.57 was the high last June. We're at 77 and change. Keep in mind, higher oil prices are good for oil stocks. They are bad for the consumer. As well as, just remember, products made with petroleum, there's a bazillion of them. That's number one, oils. Let's skip a little. Bitcoin. So Bitcoin has been in a bear market. We have been telling you to avoid. And what we always are doing on a daily basis when something is in a bear market is you look for light at the end of the tunnel. What do you look for? Selling climaxes, washing out. And what that means is it's down big on a day, volume is heavy, and it reverses a lot. Well, as you know, Bitcoin and crypto are not stocks. They trade as stocks, but they are whatever they are. You can define whatever they are. So it's tougher call. They trade 24 hours a day. So tougher. Recently, both Bitcoin, Ethereum, we don't even look at the rest of them because it's all BS, broke below the recent 8 weeks of lows and have done nothing but go down since. But let me tell you what happened today, and if I was to take any light at the end of the tunnel, let me give you the IBIT, which is a Bitcoin proxy. It hit 4130 today, which broke the yearly low going back to last April and finished at 4330, above the lows of last April, and volume was pretty heavy. Still finished down on the day, but maybe near term, maybe. I wouldn't call it a big washout, but maybe near term, a low. It would still be in a bear market on any bounce. It's still in a void. And we're not talking about on a trading basis, because on a trading basis, you can make money on a daily basis. You can make money in an hour. Anyway, that's the crypto. And of course, going with that, excuse me, the Coinbase and the MicroStrategy have both been obliterated, and they will move in kind of, I don't know, total lockstep. MicroStrategy a lot more because it's leverage. Coinbase, that is talked about every day on TV. You got to own it, got to buy it. It's gone from 402 to 179 since October, and 263 down to 179 in the last 3 weeks. And MicroStrategy has gone from 457 to 133 since July. And again, you're welcome. Because as you know, we warned you that this whole MicroStrategy, whatever they're doing, others have used the word scheme. We use the word weird. We have never understood anybody recommending it, because all it is now is an owner of Bitcoin and leveraged. And with Bitcoin being a bear market, that leverage is going to kill it. Thus, it has gone from 457 down to 133. Yet the CEO goes on TV, nonplussed. Yeah, we're good. No problem. That woman from the ARK funds went on TV 2 days ago and said it's going to 1.5 million by 2030. I must tell you, if I was on that show debating her, I'd probably throw some 4-letter words at her, because that would be a 20-fold move in 4 years. And that is asinine, ass 10, ass 11, and complete irresponsibility on her part. And coming from somebody that's down 50% since 21 in her main fund, well, you know what I think. That's the type of stuff that pisses me off, because a lot of people have lost a lot of money in it listening to those type of idiotic predictions. And that goes for anyone with predictions like that. What's the guy that keeps saying he's called everything right for 20 years and he's been wrong every time? Been calling for crashes for another 2 years. Another guy with the books sold all his gold a year ago and bought Bitcoin. We'll leave it at that. We'll keep watching. We'll let you know if anything changes. Crypto remains in a bear market. But maybe today, maybe. Next, what have we done? Oils and crypto, yay. Up next, we're going to go through a litany of things. We'll do gold and silver next because that's as spastic as spastic can be. I'm Gary. This is the one and only Investor's Edge. Okay, so we had a climactic move in gold and silver. And you had just an absolute major league drop in 2 days. In fact, a stunning drop. I would call it one for the record books. Silver dropped from 109.83, let's call it 110. That was Thursday. The low yesterday was 68. 110 to 68, that would be 42 points on 110. That's like nearing 40% in 2 days. After going up 100% in about 8 weeks. What we said to you in the last couple of days off of this was pretty simple. We have no edge. They can keep selling it down. They can bounce it up. We said to you, though, typically, you're going to get violent, vicious moves now. And today, boy, they gapped them up. Keep in mind, still way off the highs. SLV, I believe, right at the open, was little over $80. Closed at 77, up 6%. But you're still leaving that vicious drop. Gold, not as wild, but went from 510 to a low yesterday of 422 in 2 days. Last I looked, that's $88 on 510. What is that? 16%? Or something like that? Dang. They gapped it up today. Finished up, let's see, they gapped it up about $26. And it finished right there. But leaves it way below the highs. Let me repeat. I've got no edge in telling you what happens next. I really don't. Whenever you get moves like this, they're random. You can have an up day, a down day, but typically you're going to get some waffling around, back and forth, and we'll see how it goes. If you owned it and lived through this drop, God bless you. You're better than me. I would give it a shot. But if by chance it rallied back up within, especially silver. If silver got back to, and the SLV got back to like 90, boy, would I jump. We'll keep you informed. There's your silver. Let's go the other route. We have been about as bearish can be on software stocks. They murdered them again today. They absolutely murdered them again today. I don't even know where to start. The best way I can start is by going, Microsoft was down another $12 today. The head honcho top dog big cheese, down another 12. SAP, the head honcho top dog big cheese in Germany, down 10. Adobe, down 21. Salesforce.com, down 14. Things like Intuit. Holy crap, Intuit. Down 53 to 434. CrowdStrike, 17. Snowflake, 17. Zscaler, 12. Fabrinet, 51. I can continue, but I've made my point. And all I know, I've been getting emails from people stating it is because of AI. And I'm not smart enough to know if it's AI or not. But let me read something to you that I got. There's a company called Anthropic that'll go public this year. They have these artificial intelligence productivity tools. They came out with new ones. And the next line says, those dealt a blow to data service companies including Intuit, S&P Global, by the way, that's SPGI, that dropped $59 today. FactSet, Thomson Reuters, Equifax, and others. The slump extended to private fund managers that bet heavily on the software industry's future. What that means is BlackRock was down $50, Blackstone was down $7, Evercore was down $16, Apollo was down $6, KKR $11, ARES down $14, BR down $12. So we're just letting you know, our call on software, if you listened, saved you a crap load of money. And I have to tell you, I'm surprised how vicious and how bad it has gotten. If I was just to look at the software, I would think that the NASDAQ was down 20% from the highs. But fortunately, that semiconductor and data storage and that crap saved the day and offsets. But leave no doubt, remains a bear market in software stocks. By the way, Synopsys down $39 today, TRU down 10, TTAN down 7, VRSK down 21, Workday down 12, HubSpot down 30. It's a holy crap moment for me, in that we always say to people, when a process starts up or down, you never know how bad it's going to get. And dang, up next, we'll work through the rest. This is the one and only Investor's Edge. All right, let's continue. You ready? NVIDIA. Maybe a kick save today. So, NVIDIA has not been riding with the semiconductor index for whatever reason. Today, NVIDIA was down 9, and in the last half hour only finished down 5.25. Still rolling over, but a save made. 177.60 was some support, held. We'll see what the next few days have in store. But NVIDIA, at the very least, at the very best, is a hold. It has no oomph. It's losing relative strength, and certainly one of the weakest of the semis. to go along with Broadcom. And that one got a little save too today. Only finished down 11. I remember it was down 20 earlier in the day, but I can tell you in the last half hour, quite the little save in the market. And just so you know, the Dow today was down 500. Then about 215 rallied to be only down 160. The NASDAQ was down 500 and rallied, still down 336, and the NASDAQ 100 was 400. But big end-of-day move to save the day and keep the big indices, we'll call it, in shape. The NASDAQ finished just below the 50-day moving average and in the lower half of today's bar, but that's a lot better than the low of today's bar. And the same goes for the NASDAQ 100. The Dow was withering. That finished darn well in the upper level. By the way, the Dow today, early in the day, hit, let me get that number right so you know how crazy today was, 49,653. It dropped 820 points to the low in the late 2 o'clock hour, and then rallied up about 400 to be down 166. So quite the crazy day, but the outcome is still software looks terrible. Lesser tech looks terrible. Names like Spotify and Shopify. I got to throw one more out to you. And I didn't see any news. And I'm looking for news. And if you guys find any news, please let me know. Booking Holdings and Expedia were both mauled today. Mauled. Same group. Booking Holdings down $477, 9%. It is a high price name. And Expedia down 15% today. So we're throwing that one out to you as just another place that looks like, which takes me to the other side, metals and mining. Very strong day. Copper, aluminum, steel, and that stuff. Just uptrends. Southern Copper, when they hit all the metals on Friday and yesterday, Southern Copper got hit right back up $22 today. CRS, which is specialty cobalt and whatever, got hit when everything hit, up $27 today, 8%. Nucor, Steel Dynamics, Cameco, which is uranium, that's another. So there's metals mining, strong. And really, oils, metals, mining, strong. Housing, better but. What do I mean by but? Well, I noticed Toll Brothers today breaking out early in the day. In fact, was up 9, finished up 98 cents, and tucked its head in like a frightened turtle. So I'm not so sure they're ready, and they're way off the highs today. But I am definitely going to watch, but I think that had to do with the government news. And may I state for the record, it nauseates me. I am rooting for this president, but it is so depressing to see what kind of socialist this man is. Having government in every frickin' industry, and it's demoralizing. Picking winners and losers, and it's not what I want to see. It is not what made this country great. Government is the one running $38 trillion of debt. Last I looked, corporate America is not. But You got almost 3 more years of the president, and I gather we're going to see a lot more. And don't tell me I'm TDS. I'm wishing him well. I'm hoping for the best. So housing, we think, got juiced by that. Transports. Son of a gun. You know what the strong stock? FedEx. Do you know FedEx this week is up 10%? New all-time high. Numbers are A-OK. Nothing special. We're just letting you know. The deliverers of things. Rails, truckers, the FedEx. Just strong. UPS, not very strong. FedEx would be the name. So transports, strong. Dang. And that is quite out of the norm. They have really not led in a very long time, but I can tell you right now, they're strong. And go take a look if you want. IBM. I didn't see any news. And the market turned, I said, what time in the 2 o'clock hour? IBM at 285, down $30, and rallied up $10, and that was part of the Dow coming back. $10 on a Dow stock is 65 points. I didn't see any news, but they were kicking IBM in the teeth. And I still don't see anything to cause it to drop. And if any of you see any news on it, let me know. Chipotle. Well, what have we told you here? So I love Chipotle. I get the chicken bowl, and if they're skimpy on the chicken, I'll ask for more, and if they don't want to do it, I get the double chicken with the mild, the corn, whatever else. And all I can tell you, whenever I go, it's not as busy, nearly as busy as it used to be, not even close. And I also think there may be a little overbuilding. Where I live, they just put a new one up. I don't think they needed to. There are 2 others within maybe 3 miles. And the one that they just put up, Chipotle is down about 10% in the aftermarket. I haven't seen the numbers yet, but the stock has been withering. And it's not, I don't think they do anything really bad. It's just very tough competition for your dollar right now. And I know there was talk about size and how much they put in, but I don't think that's a big deal. And I don't think they've cracker barreled it. You know, cracker barreled, I mean, they basically, I don't know what the hell they're doing over there. Anyway, sometimes you can see things with your eyes. You can experience them. Our greatest one we've ever done here is for 1 year, we did Kmart versus Walmart and Target. I would come on the show once a week, just letting you know, Kmart empty, Walmart and Target kicking butt. A year later, the Kmart shut down with the rest of them. Of course, Target has their own issues. By the way, Walmart trading at an all-time high, which is quite amazing. Up next, few other areas of the market on a very pro-market day here at Investor's Edge. Hey, yo. In the aftermarket, I have AMD down about $15. Yeah, it's down about 6%. And that can change in a nanosecond. Just letting you know. I got Amgen in the Dow, up $2. Symbol Light, that's been one of those strong optical names. I got it up $45, up 10%. How about, nah, that's no big deal. Let's see if this one reported. No, that one didn't report. And that's about it. Yeah, not much else. Cirrus Logic closed not much. Rest of the week, tomorrow's Eli Lilly, Flextronics, Old Dominion, which those truckers have been stronger, Uber, which has been weak. After the close tomorrow's Google, which has been strong, ARM Holdings, which has been dead, Qualcomm, and then Thursday, I do believe it will be Amazon and a few other, and Reddit and a few others. So quite the whole market today, big save at the close. If we finished at the lows today, I would have called it interesting in that the NASDAQ 100 were cleanly taken out the 50-day. At the close, it did not cleanly take it out, was just below. I noticed that Goldman Sachs was down 20-something, rolling over, only finished down 7. So that it was a good save by the end of the day for the big indices. That's the best way I can explain it. And we remain the S&P. The S&P 50-day moving average 68.70. We hit 68.62, and then finished above it. So we know the important numbers for the big indices, and we'll see how they play them out, kids. But just letting you know again, oils, metals, mining, transports, the construction, whatever area of the AI have been back and forth in crazy action. Good day today. And I mentioned transports, that's rails, things that deliver. Economically sensitive, not everything, but W.W. Grainger on earnings today, big one-year breakout, for example. And then there are others that are dead. Insurance, very weak. Big banks, hanging in there. J.P. Morgan with the big upgrade today, back at the 50-day, has done nothing for 5 months now, but at least better day. Regional banks, kind of new high-ish today. Strong action in things like PNC and Truist, which is the old SunTrust, and M&T Bank in shape. But on the other end, those private equity buyout shops are getting murdered. Absolutely murdered. The semiconductors was down 168 today. The SOX. But you know what it was at the lows? 77.96. It was down 358. So that came back. The question is, will AMD harm it tomorrow? I doubt it. Yeah, it's down 6% in the aftermarket, but I doubt it. But if NVIDIA and Broadcom keep gagging, now just letting you know on NVIDIA, major league big time support is right at that 170. You take that out and you have a big gigantic 6-month top, and that would invite more selling. But today, last 45 minutes, they awoke and said, get buying some of that crap. Insurance stocks, weak. A lot of medical stuff, weak. Retail, well, there's Lululemon, which is in a brutal bear market. But then you have a Dollar General that's strong as heck. So mixed. ADP and Paychex continue to crash. These payroll companies. Is that AI or is that the job market? And the weird thing is the job market is weak, even though we're told we're getting 5% GDP. I must tell you, I've never seen a weak job market and GDP at 5%. So I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm just letting you know, ADP and Paychex, new yearly lows. 401 new yearly lows on the NASDAQ today and 209 new yearly lows on the New York. So it is, without a doubt, quite the mixed bag of a market right now. If you are not in the right areas, you are getting smoked. And if you are neck deep in software and what we call lesser tech, you are getting smoked. Payroll type companies, PayPal, down 20% today to $41. And as you know, we have complained about their service and their website. They need to fix that crap up. Or else. So a lot of jello moving on the plate here. A definitive, an absolute definitive save today from a harrowing early part of the day. Now, when the market was at its lowest, transports were still up, but they went from up 500 to up 180, but finished up 380. Metals and mining were still up, but got better at the end of the day. And then there's the NVIDIA types. It was down over 9, finished only down 5 and change. I can't wait to scan this tonight. It'll be quite interesting. On that note, oil price is up $2 today. Don't want to see more of that. Bonds stable like that. That all said, whew, you have a great evening. We did nothing but the market today. Amazing. Have a great evening. Drive carefully. When you get home, do like we do. Quite simple. Make sure you hug your family. Make sure you hug your children. They will feel better. You will feel better. I promise. Stay well. Be well. Until tomorrow, have a good night. Bye-bye.